Hey, what's going on? Sanitary 103 here. One question that I've been getting more recently is, should I be running or should I be using the elliptical? In this video, I'm going to go over a quick breakdown of both types of exercises. Now, I've used both equipment, and when I go on the cardio machine, whether it's the elliptical or the treadmill or if I run outside, I definitely, push myself to the limit, especially when I'm doing high intensity interval training. And based on my experience, running / treadmill definitely beats the elliptical in terms of getting your heart rate to the next level. Most treadmills can go up to a speed maximum of 10, 11, 12 miles per hour. 10 miles per hour on a treadmill is a 6-minute mile. That might not be a full sprint for an elite athlete or a cross-country runner, because I'm not one. But for most average people, if you really want to test your heart rate and your lungs, then you definitely have an advantage using the treadmill / running. The elliptical, on the other hand, you can definitely put some resistance on it and go hard. But from my experience, when I went hard on the treadmill, no matter how hard I went, my heart rate never got as high as compared to when I ran. Have you guys heard about the term the runner's high? I'm sure many of you guys have. Have you ever heard about the term the elliptical high? I have not heard it. I just made it up. I just put two words together, but I think it definitely holds true for me. After I go for a really solid run, I get this euphoric feeling. I feel really good about myself, and I'm not trying to put down the elliptical, because I definitely feel good after an elliptical session, but it's just not quite the same. So that's one advantage, at least personally for me. Another great advantage of running as opposed to the elliptical is, hey, you don't have to do it in the gym all the time, right? You can just, boom, just go right out, go for a nice, beautiful run outside. I live in California, so I'm very grateful to have great weather. Like right now, it's like sunny and like 70 degrees right now. So that can definitely be an advantage. It's very beautiful, and it's much more easy to stay motivated when you have great weather, as opposed to being crammed into a gym, smelly and stinky. Check out my gym pet peeves video for a breakdown of that. But anyway, sometimes you just want to get away from people and get in your own zone, and that's what running can do. And with running, you don't have to do it solo all the time. You can charities, you can run for cancer, there's a bunch of different clubs, there's groups, activities. I went to Hawaii back in 2007, and I did go for a run in Oahu, and I was amazed to see all these running groups, and it was just amazing to see, and I really like that. So you could definitely have that option when you run, as opposed to an elliptical with a piece of equipment by yourself. Okay, the biggest disadvantage of running, and this is probably pretty obvious, but because most people don't have proper gait, some people overpronate, some people underpronate. I'm an overpronator, and that causes a lot of stress on my tibial muscles, which causes shin splints. You can get stress fractures, tendonitis, bursitis, above knee, just general soreness. You can roll your ankle, which I did May 1st, and I'm barely recovering from that. So it's like constant care, whereas with the elliptical, you're pretty much just kind of on air. It kind of seems like you could just go. So that's one big disadvantage of running. Alright, moving right along to ellipticals. This kind of coincides with what I just said previously, but obviously with the elliptical, you're not pounding constant pressure from your legs onto the pavement. Pounds of force over and over and over. On the elliptical, if you have a bad knee or bad knees, bad legs, whatever it may be, or if you're just getting started and it's too hard to run a few blocks without losing your breath, you can use the elliptical and go on that and definitely burn some calories. So that's a definite advantage. Another great advantage of the elliptical is that if you notice guys that hardcore bodybuilders and stuff, you never see them really on the treadmill. If you do, they're usually walking, and basically what they're doing is they're trying to sustain their muscle, because too much running will actually burn away muscle. Granted, running is great for you and it burns calories, but also burns away a lot of muscle. So that's why you see a lot of runners, their body types look very different in comparison to a sprinter or a bodybuilder. So an elliptical is a great option because you can do a low intensity cardio on that. Granted, you could probably do some walking on the treadmill as well, but if you want to mix it up, the elliptical is a great option to have to still burn calories but sustain muscle. And real quickly, some of the disadvantages. I don't want to sound repetitive because I kind of briefly mentioned some of these disadvantages. But I don't really get quite the runner's high. My heart rate doesn't get quite up on the elliptical, even if I put a lot of resistance. But overall, it's still a great alternative to have. Thank you for watching another Which One is Better series. I hope to have more out in the near future. See you guys next time.